Meanwhile, you're always about women's business, always talking about the sisters, always talking to the sisters. They've got mahrams, they've got walis, they've got their guardians, and it isn't you. I mean, I hate to use their terminology, but this is about the most beta thing you can possibly do. Always in the women's section. And the irony is that these are the same ones who are endlessly droning on and on about masculinity. Meanwhile, you can't do the basic thing, the most basic thing that men do as men, which is to ignore women. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean that in an obnoxious way, but women have their world, their sphere, and men have their world and their sphere. But meanwhile, you're always trying to weasel your way into the sphere of women, under the guise of nasiha, under the guise of advice. But you're just like a peeping Tom who's trying to justify why he's doing what he's doing by saying that you're just trying to check up on the sisters to make sure that they're safe. No, it's not your business. The men are over here, brother. Meanwhile, you keep sliding your way back to where the sisters are. And, this is very disrespectful. It's very insulting to their walis. I mean, let's take this offline, Let me catch you on the street talking to my wife or talking to my sisters about how they shouldn't go out, or they shouldn't go to the gym, or they shouldn't go to school, or you don't like the way they're dressed, or what have you. I wish you would. You better hope that that red pill you took is a painkiller, because you're going to be dancing cheek to cheek with the concrete here.
Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come to it that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life,
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon. How we doing? How we doing? Y'all give me a 1 or 2 down there in the listening lounge if y'all can hear me. I see some folks down there already. Hey there, Shar, how you doing? I got that 1 or 2. Thank you so very much. Zahara, how you doing? Good to see you. Miss J. Lynn, in this piece. How y'all doing? Anybody else peeking in the clouds? Come on through. Sit down. Boy, I tell you, it's going to be a blast up off in here tonight. You know, I always like to title these things. I've been on long enough now to go ahead and say it. Loose nigga roundups. But, you know, when folks hear me say loose nigga roundups, they think I'm only talking about black folk. Look at, they all sitting there. You see the screen right there. They're all sitting around in a circle. Mehdi Hasan. I don't know if any of you folks are familiar with this guy, but he's quite the debater. He's quite the knowledgeable man, well educated, well spoken, and no nonsense. So the name of the show, the platform is called Jubilee, and the name of the show was Mehdi Hasan, of course, versus 20 far right. Now I scanned through a lot of it, and I tell you what, one thing was definitely for me was, how do I say, similar with everyone that Mehdi spoke with. They all at some point in time got upset for one reason, because they were wrong. You'll see a couple of times doing this film here, this thing we're going to review here, that actual fact checks will pop up. A few times, like I always say, even the sun shine on a dog ass. A couple of statements that these folks said, these far right bringers, in disguise. You'll see why in a little bit. In disguise. Hey there, Candy Cane. How you doing? Good to see you. These far right wingers in disguise. One already lost his job. You're about to lose your job. Up, too late. You done lost it. That's the problem. They'll never admit they were wrong, Shar. Never admit they were wrong. Before I go any further, though, speaking of Shar there, and I see my other co-host is in for the night, folks. After we get acquainted and we get into it, I'll let the explanation do for itself. But let me introduce my co-host here for the night. Of course, y'all know she's like my right hand around here. You know, me and Shar have been around doing this since Jesus wore sandals. That's a long time, ain't it, Shar?
That's a long time.
And of course, I got my man Dreadhead set in with me, one of the great DJs here at Classic R&B Jams. He does this thing on Mondays and Thursday nights. Monday he does the Hook and Hennessy show, and on Thursday he does the Our House radio show where he features him and DJ Broken and DJ Misunderstood. What's up there? What you said? How you living, good brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Right.
Hey, Sean.
Right. Listen, I sent this link to both of y'all. So let's, before we get into it, Shar, I'll start with you since you're the lady of the house here tonight. I'll start with you. From what you saw of the film, what would you overall say about? What's your overall take on it?
No matter what information they received, they were not going to concede. How about that?
Yeah, good. I agree with you 100%. Shit. They just act like there wasn't no truck in the road every time they pull out, didn't they?
Right.
Bam! And what about you, Sid?
I looked at it and I agree with Char, but I think the problem that I really had with those guys is that if you knew that there was Biden and Obama, they would not be saying none of that stuff, you know?
Okay. None
of it. They would be totally against everything that's going on if it was a Democrat in office.
Absolutely, and that's the thing about it. There's and that's a lot of the things that the first part that we'll examine here. Mehdi was talking about the criminality of the Trump regime. There is absolutely no way, folks. You can't go back in the history of the presidency of the United States and find a more crooked presidential administration. And I use the administration very lightly. What y'all think?
I don't know. I think Nixon was the ultimate criminal president, but he's nothing compared to Trump.
Nothing. Nothing. What about you, Shaw?
I think it's more so they just want to stand with what's going on and who they represent. I think that's just the bottom line.
Well, I know. Listen, y'all like to be politically correct, but I'm not going to be. All right. What we're going to watch here tonight, folks, this is the whole of America. I remember some time ago, Classic Ruby invited me to a stream that she was doing. It was a young white fella that was holding the stream. You remember that? Maybe about 2 years ago.
Yeah, sounds familiar. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I typed in his chat room. I said, because they were talking about Trump and his racism. And I typed in his chat room. I said, racism is the whole of America. This is what this country is built on. This is the fiber. Just like they talk about the flag that Betsy Ross sewed up.
Mm-hmm.
Racism is embedded in the United States of America. It was built on it. So, and for anyone to think, but from where you were, from the 1950s, from the 1960s, the 1970s, and on up, you can call it by any other name. What it is, a lynching is a lynching. What's the difference between being lynched in 1960 and 2024? What is the difference?
I don't think it's no difference.
There is absolutely none.
None.
Absolutely none. If somebody just saw you walking down the road, I can understand if you were a criminal and you did something. But the whole of America is proven, folks. The whole of America is allowing Donald Trump to do exactly what he's doing. If you live in Chicago and if you're on Section 8, I guarantee you, your Section 8 payments have either been held up or you ain't got it. There's a couple niggas on these YouTube streets that be bragging about the food stamps and the shit that they living off, telling them how good Trump was. I've been around long enough to know that this has never gone away. And Mehdi Hasan is going to show you exactly what I've been talking about. Because what we're about to see, what we're about to review, folks, is the whole of America. These kids come from all walks of life in the United States of America. But one thing they all have in common, that they think that their race is superior to ours. They believe that they are better than us. They believe that black and brown people are replacing them. They believe, you're going to hear one of these kids say that the color of his skin says that he is a Native American. Do you know what the fucking word native means? And then the next sentence he said, my parents were immigrants. How the fuck does that work?
It don't. I was looking at that same thing and I was scratching my head to that one like, bro, you ain't even making no sense. You know what I'm saying? None.
But this is who. So I wish I had, Shar, if you have time, can you go and pull up Leonidas? So I'll tell you why, because a lot of these folks talk about this guy, mention him in some of their talking points. So one of the founders of race, one of the guys of the theory of race was called Carl Leonidas. I hope I'm saying Leonidas or whatever, how you be saying his name. But he and a bunch of all the other ones. Now, if you go look at this concept of race, you won't find a dark fella nowhere near it. So I'll ask you, if me, Dreadhead said, and Shar was to draw up a diagram of what race is, would we put ourselves at the bottom?
Of course not.
That's pretty much what Leonidas and his crew did. They put us as Africoid and all these other things, but they labeled us as low intelligence. And these folks believe that because they quote him too much. But just, I am living proof, folks, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I am living proof that Leonidas and all those other things that said because the pigment of your skin is dark that you are unable to learn. I prove that wrong every time I get on this microphone. Shar proves it wrong. Said proves it wrong. Hell, y'all wouldn't have, white folks wouldn't have been on the moon without us. You wouldn't be sweeping floors. You wouldn't be ironing clothes. But these little motherfuckers gonna come up here and say they are better than us. And I about had it.
I feel you on that because they don't even understand how much black culture has changed
their lives.
Their lives. Entertainment. You can go on and on. Black culture has touched everything.
Absolutely.
To the point whereas, you know, even the cell phones that we use, you're going to talk about that. Black man invented the cell phone. So, I mean, what, we ain't got no intelligence? Black man invented video games.
And
we ain't got no intelligence.
Right. And they still insist that our intelligence is less than them. You're going to hear one of these kids tell Mehdi Hasan that he should get out of this country. You're going to hear some of these kids tell Mehdi Hasan that he is not a citizen of this country based on his skin color. Round them all up. Get them on out of here. The Back to Africa movement is well alive in these circles right here, folks. Because imagine what they say in public. Imagine what they say behind closed doors. Now, one other thing that's been stuck in my crawl all day. Did y'all not hear what Hulk Hogan had to say about us when he was alive?
Oh, I ain't even finna get into that.
What the fuck's wrong with what the fuck's wrong with black folks?
You know, I was on YouTube
Did
today.
y'all not see what Hulk Hogan was doing?
Yeah, I seen a lot of black people giving Hulk Hogan tribute, and I'm like scratching my head, like, dude, y'all ain't
for what?
See Hulk Hogan for who he was.
But y'all come in here and shit on Kevin Samuels. Y'all will shit on Kevin Samuels. Kevin, I'm sticking up for you this time, brother. I'm with you on this one. Before we get to this, hey Bridget M, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi, good to see you. Welcome in. Before we get to the show, said y'all got anything y'all want to lead up to this? You want to shout out anybody? Say something good, positive? Because listen, I came for war tonight. I hope one of these right-winging motherfuckers come up here. I came for war tonight. That's why I started this at 9 o'clock. And no holds barred tonight. I'm sorry. I know no holds barred tonight. Sorry. Look like the internet's strong too. The only thing that's gonna save y'all is the internet fades me out. Gonna be a whole lot of
you, brother.
Right.
That's
what. Listen, that was the song say hell, and I brought 2 friends along. but let's get to it, folks.
A far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
I'm Mehdi Hasan. I'm a journalist. I'm the editor of Zeteo. And today I'm surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives. My first claim is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mehdi.
I would just like to ask, what makes someone pro-crime versus, anti-crime?
I think when you're soft on criminals, when you let criminals out of prison, when you pardon people who've assaulted police officers, you're pro-criminal. Donald Trump pardoned almost 1,600 people who were involved in January the 6th. I think 600 of them had been charged with assaulting a police officer.
Fact check right there on the screen. If you release a bunch of hooligans out of prison, are you soft on crime? How many of those folks from January 6th that got pardons went on within weeks to commit more crimes
Or get murdered.
or get murdered? Weeks. So any argument that you have right now that says Donald Trump is not pro-crime or is not pro-criminal, the argument is over right there. The rest is it's just a cakewalk for this is going to be a cakewalk for Mehdi. Wouldn't y'all agree?
I think it was.
Oh, it was. Believe me, it was. Let's go.
For obstructing a police officer.
You know, you can't
170 had pled guilty to assaulting a police officer. 70 had
I'm sorry, say it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you can't with idiocy, you know what I'm saying? It, nowhere along the line, it's like oil and water is not going to mix, and you're not going to change their minds. So
Right.
that's all I was saying.
Right.
pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon. J.D. Vance said, we're not going to pardon the violent criminals from January 6th. Donald Trump pardoned all of them. Are you okay with that?
I would say January 6th is a very special case. I would say it's almost a climax point in history. I would just phrase the question this way. Right now in the LA protests, if they were to, just for example, they were to rush the capital of LA, I mean, they'd have to move over all the homeless people living in tents on the steps of the Capitol. But if they were managed to get into the Capitol and they were just protesting, peacefully, let's say police officers were rushing them in, they were letting them in and saying, hey, you guys can go in.
Okay.
Like we had many testimony.
Now, let me ask you folks. All three of us was around January of 2021, weren't we?
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah. Did that look peaceful to y'all?
Well, I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on. I mean, if you're on their side, of course it looks peaceful.
Okay. So let me ask you.
But to the real world, yeah, it was hell on it was hell on earth.
Okay. Well, is it a normal thing to not to do in the bowl and not and smear it on the walls of the Capitol? Is that the type of party that they talking about is peaceful? Because I don't know no protest like that's peaceful to where doo-doo is involved. Y'all know that? Y'all know about that?
Well, I didn't hear about that part.
Right. So what part of this defense of it was people when people say it was a peaceful protest, which part of it was peaceful? The folks that didn't rush the Capitol?
That say.
What about the violent ones, though?
Okay, violent ones like
Like a man named David Dempsey, a judge, a Reagan-appointed judge, sentenced him to 20 years in prison. He stomped on police officers' heads. The judge said his conduct was exceptionally egregious. He attacked police officers with flagpoles and pepper spray. Donald Trump pardoned him. There's a man named Daniel Rodriguez. He got 12 years in prison for taking a stun gun and tasing a police officer in the neck and giving him a heart attack. The judge said he was a one-man army of hate. Donald Trump pardoned him. Does that not make Trump pro-criminal? He's letting violent criminals out of prison.
I would say no, it doesn't make him pro-criminal.
You're okay with that?
I did not say that. I said that one pardon against somebody.
It was 1,600 pardons. 600 of those were people charged with...
one example that you just gave me.
I can give you more. Should I keep going?
Fine.
Okay, let's stop that right there. Okay, so one example wasn't enough? He gave you two examples. Did you not see the officers that were some of the officers that was involved? Did you not see the footage of that officer was trapped between the door screaming at the top of his lungs? Did you not see one of those officers literally getting beaten with flagpoles? But these are the same folks that say that they are pro-blue. They back the police. How? And I did hear that, H.T. Baldwin. Can any of us up here? What's the word? What the word that you reconcile the fact that you can be pro-police and say that Donald Trump is pro-criminal. Just in the two examples. That doesn't hold water for me, does it? For y'all?
No, not really. But you want to know my theory?
Go ahead.
I think that when it comes to those Capitol Police, I don't think that they look at them like real police. I think they look at them like security guards. Like they don't acknowledge them as being like full-fledged officers of the law. For some strange reason. That's what I'm thinking.
And you know, that's a valid point, Sid. And I don't know why they wouldn't. I guess, you know, maybe because it's in the area that it's in. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I could see how folks would think they would be rent-a-cops. Right, absolutely, Bridget. It's like it's insignificant into him. What they're saying is, to me, that his eyes are saying it's casualties of war, or some things that for the greater good, those policemen had to be sacrificed. He does give the air of insignificance, doesn't it? Let's continue. Folks, I don't know if this is Borging or not. If it is, y'all let me know. If it starts Borging too much, I'll pause it and let it catch up to itself. All right? We good so far?
And I'll say the exact same thing every single time.
Then your argument will fall apart because it's not just one example if I keep going.
Go for it then.
Okay, Shane Jenkins got 7 years in prison for 9 criminal offenses, attacking police with a deadly weapon, destroying government property.
How do
Trump
pardons
him.
that probably shouldn't have happened turn into pro-crime?
So you've agreed that they shouldn't have been pardoned?
Sure, but that wasn't your claim, was January 6th. Your claim was Trump is pro-crime.
Yeah, because he pardons criminals.
Okay, I would say that's a fault.
Let's talk about non-January 6 people.
Okay.
He's pardoned people like Paul Walchuk recently.
Now you see why I like to call this the loose nigga roundup, because he just got roped and branded. How was that possible? With the example, how can you say that Trump is not pro-crime when he just gave you 3 clear examples of egregious crimes that the judge gave some of these folks at least 20 years in jail, and they got pardoned? How do you reconcile this? It does not make sense. So I'm gonna keep going back to this, folks, and I'm gonna give this disclaimer one time. I'm not talking about all white folks, because there's some folks with the same color skin as me that think these folks that we're seeing here tonight is right, and you'll see. There's some folks in here with dark skin that think what they're talking about is right. Claps galore. This one dude gonna hop up talking about he got a round of applause. A round of applause. It was 20 motherfuckers in the room.
Who took millions of dollars from his own employees, was sentenced to tax crimes, had to pay back $4 million. Trump pardoned him. He bought himself a $2 million yacht. Why is he pardoning criminals like that?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you should. I don't think really presidential pardon should be a thing at all. But I agree. I don't think that.
All right, pause.
That means something.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Now this part is, folks, if you don't know what's happening, let me explain this for those of you who haven't seen this. What they'll do is every time they raise the red flag, it gets closer and closer to him getting booted off. And then you'll see somebody rush up and take the seat. So each one of these things are timed. Each question section is timed for, like, I think 15 minutes. So we could, if we don't have time to do this whole entire thing tonight, we can do part 2 of it. So it depends on how everything goes. Welcome back there, Sahara. Welcome back. But it depends on how things go. But it's going to be interesting here. This is the first guy that I noticed that no matter what you give him, no matter what you tell him, he thinks that the best way to resolve any problem is through anger. I do believe if Mehdi Hasan had not been in an environment to where he felt completely safe, this kid would have punched him. And I don't call him a kid. I'm just calling him a kid just because that's just my vernacular. But you'll see.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Mehdi.
What is it?
Mehdi.
You're from northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind asking?
My parents are from India.
Okay, perfect. Just getting premise here. First of all, I want to say
the premise of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S., first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this. With the argument,
should people who live in the U.S. not care about?
Let's not interrupt each other. Because I have this thing, like people know I have this thing. I have to stay calm, okay? So here's the thing. I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't. So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is, first and foremost.
You don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing. No, it's not, because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Let me pause that right there. If y'all did not hear him say it, he said the quiet part out loud. It's no longer a relevant conversation to them. It does not matter. It's just an ends to a means, and you'll hear him say that too. Shar, said anything?
I mean, he just saying who we are. I mean, he's saying the quiet part out loud, and this is basically how all of them think.
Again, like I said, folks, you can get mad at me. But those of you who get mad, you're one of him.
Shoot, he just said that's the past. That's the same thing when people talk about reparations. That's the past.
That's the past. Over and done with, right? Let's go.
Yes, I've
BLM protests. Have you seen? Okay, I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So
being
we have no
done
rules
to conservatives. It's not about.
Good catch there, HT Ball One. He says exactly. He says we're changing the definition of what crime is. Right. That's how smart they are. Crime is crime. Do you think if I'm walking down the street and I got a Colt 45, do you think you're going to get mad at me because I didn't stick you up with a Mac 10? Huh? I don't think so.
That it's about tribal warfare. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American
you
citizen.
have your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here. Okay.
But you're
a little different.
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants, settlers,
I didn't know.
colonialists.
Yeah,
You
colonials.
don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites
not.
are Native Americans.
Really?
And these fools clapped.
You know what's so funny about that? What's so funny about that whole statement? That if anybody would have a claim to being native, you know, and I'm doing that with my fingers, you know what I'm saying? American, it'd be the Spaniards, because wasn't Christopher Columbus from Spain? Wasn't it the Spaniards that came over here first?
Okay, that's what they said. I think if they want to, since they want to erase Christopher Columbus, I think Americus Vespucci was definitely from Spain. I think most of their history is talking about where they sailed the ocean blue to discover the new world. So if they want to be technical, all of them came from that part of the world, right?
Exactly, the old world. But I'm just saying, like, wouldn't I don't see no Spaniards jumping up saying this, but then they have every right to say that, because I mean, last I remember, Christopher Columbus went to the Queen of Spain and got the funding and come over here, and they found supposedly found the America. So
how do you find something that's already there?
Exactly.
I mean, I can understand them saying they're calling themselves settlers, because basically that's what they are. But there were people that were here that were indigenous to this part of the world before any Spaniard came here. And this was what this white guy is claiming, that he was one of those indigenous people. Sir, no, sir. Your skin dictates to tell you that you are not. Since y'all want to talk about skin color a lot, your skin color alone should tell you that you are not native to this part of the world. I don't have to go to school with Mehdi to understand that.
I want to ask the guy what tribe is he from? Because if he has a certain tribe, then he'd be registered, and You have some benefits.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like
Yeah,
he
he,
have that. Just saying.
yeah, he wanted them $5 Indians. He was on the Dawes Rolls. He was one of them $5
Yeah.
Indians. Pay him $5, and then folks can say, "Yeah, I'm Indian now."
He did say it was tribal warfare,
Yeah,
so that's a valid question, Char, for real.
right. What tribe is he from? Right. If they fuck around and find out tribe is where he's from.
What was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent. But what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen, before
indigenous
America,
people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It
Doesn't sound
means
like
they
it.
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way.
No, sir. No, sir. The word indigenous means that you were here, that you did not come from a different part of the world. You were actually here. Now, at some point in time, if you want to say that there was this big landmass and bridge and all that, and some folks it crossed over, then you can say that. But indigenous does not mean that you traveled anywhere. You were here already. You are native to this. Just like some pine trees are indigenous to only this part of the world. Just like some fruit are only indigenous to certain part of the world. That's the same way it goes with humans. So no, sir, no matter as much as y'all white folks want to claim that y'all are indigenous to this part of the world, you were not. Your own lineage, your own 23andMe will tell you that you did not come from this part of the world.
Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he in America?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay. Just checking.
My point is, okay.
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people.
You're derailing, dude. I'm trying
you
to stay on
literally
track.
sat down and asked me where I'm from.
Let me pause it again and start it over. There you go.
You derailed this conversation from the get-go.
By that, but I'm because
not
I'm
offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime. You're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
this how
as
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That must make you feel good.
You know what? I'm
20
actually
people
glad
agree
you're
with
getting
you,
this
applauded you.
emotionally outraged right
Wow.
now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just going to keep going?
No, please.
Okay.
Make your claim.
My claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
That's fine. We agree then. He's pro-crime,
But
and you
I have a
don't care.
question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered the opposite side of the
Yes.
spectrum?
I think anyone who assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crimes, and I don't think Joe Biden should commit. I don't think Democrats should pardon Democrats.
Fair, but I don't think you understand where we are in the U.S. then.
I think I do.
No, because you're arguing from a position of like a U.S. that doesn't exist anymore. Okay. We're headed towards
nihilism, no laws, nothing matters.
It's not about
everyone's pro-crime.
It's not about that. It's that conservatives for too long have been playing it safe. They've been playing by the law. They've been playing
by the law.
Yes, they have.
Maybe you missed the Bush presidency. Did you live here during the Bush years?
Conservatives are
didn't
so
play by
concerned.
the law, George W. Bush, nor did Ronald Reagan.
Let's be respectful to you. Let me finish.
I'm not sure you've been that respectful, but okay.
I'm trying to bring it back, so let's both bring it back, okay? I'm conservative, okay?
Really?
Let me tell you this. We do play it too safe. We've been playing it by the book for too long. Okay. At this point, gloves are off, right? The left has made their point. They're willing to do...
the police force in Washington, the left?
At this point, gloves are off. And which brings me to I'm going to do an upload, which brings me to a point of an upload that I did. I've heard everybody speaking of the Jacksonville incident, where the young kid, 22-year-old kid, sitting in the car and it gets sucker punched. It's really disheartening. I'm not going to get into it too deep, but it's really disheartening to what I've heard in the YouTube streams coming from black folks. It really is. It really is that you guys are focusing on what someone's wearing, what someone's hair is looking like, what lawyers is doing what. When we clearly saw that this kid had his hands up, that we clearly saw that no matter whether it was rain or not, no matter what the weather it is outside, that the mere fact that this kid was assaulted, but everybody's trying to find reasons why the policemen are doing their job. You don't do your job that way. And this is what I'm talking about. It's folks like this on the screen right here that embolden the police, that think they can get away with this because this motherfucker right here will end up on a jury somewhere. And that statement alone told you that he don't care, that the gloves are off. We told y'all folks about Trump and his qualified immunity. Then you hear the police chief of Jacksonville say that the police were just doing their job, that it wasn't a sucker punch, dark as I am. Let me say something to you loose niggas, and y'all know who I'm talking to. You'll never be one of them, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you think that you're going to be inclusive to them. You're just like trash. As soon as they're done with you, they're going to put you in a bag, put you in a trash bag, and throw you in the dump. Hey, pure butterfly spirit, how you doing? And so for all you folks that's going around skirting the obvious, for all you folks that's going around to say that that kid did something wrong, because you can't find nothing wrong on him. He was a college, he got a scholarship. How the fuck do you get a scholarship? Did the folks give them to you? He was in college, he was in the band. How many of y'all been in high school and see how dedicated those band members are when it's summertime, they out there in that damn heat. They'll never be. You're absolutely right, Zahara. No matter how hard you try, the only thing you'll be to William Cartwright is roped and branded.
Yes. Are you kidding me? The left? Are you insane?
Police officers.
Look at LA right here. You think those stand down? You think
the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
No, but I think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do.
Okay.
I think they listen to who signs their paychecks at the end of the day.
Can I just check, because you're doing lots of little diversions. We both agree Donald Trump's pro-crime. You're just fine with it.
No,
is that the position?
I don't.
That's what you've said so far for about 5 minutes.
I don't agree with your definition.
What's
of
your
crime.
definition of crime?
It doesn't
Stomping
matter.
on a police officer's head is not a crime. That's your definition of crime as the Native American.
I am Native American.
If you say so.
So going back to the topic at hand, we have different definitions of crime because you're talking about it.
There's a criminal code in this country. It's called the U.S. Criminal Code.
You know what? Let's focus on what we agree on. I'm sure you and I actually agree on a lot more.
Do we
than
agree
you
that
realize.
people shouldn't stomp on police officers' heads? Can we agree on that? If you don't agree on that, then I really think this conversation is kind of
No,
pointless.
because first of all, you're saying what? That the police have the authority, that they're given the authority. I don't accept the authority that's been given by liberal
conservative position. I thought the conservative are pro-police.
Then you don't know what a real. Hey, listen, you're in a room with juggernauts right now. Okay? I'm telling you right now, you are going to be blown open.
Okay, this is the part right here that if there was probably heavy security, this is the part that Mehdi would have been in trouble, because this dude would have hit him then, because he just threatened him. Did y'all hear that? He said, "You're in a bunch of you basically. If that was a boy, you're in the wrong place, motherfucker, to be talking that shit." That's what he just said. We're surrounding you, and basically, what I heard was, if we were somewhere else, I'd kick your butt right now, buddy.
If you think that my
if we're going to struggle with the English language for the next couple of hours, then
what you're up against right now, okay?
100%.
Yeah. Newsflash, the conservatives are liberal to me, okay? Neocons, libertarians, all those mainstream people, they might as well be leftists to me, okay? That's how far to the right I am. Do you understand my position? So when
I kind of guessed it when you sat down.
say, about obeying police, why would I give the authority to police? Do you know here in America?
Do you think Donald Trump should be pardoning 9 members of Congress who committed financial crimes? Are you pro-financial crime? Do you pro-financial crime?
Do you know who Thomas Timbo is?
Pause.
I think the people who clapped you voted you out.
All right. Head back to your seat. You've been voted out by the majority.
Nice to meet
And you are out of there, folks. You are out of there, and that's what they do. They'll vote you out. If they, I guess they was figure like, okay, he was just spinning his wheel because basically he was. Now, I know I'm boring a little bit, but did he ever answer any questions? Do you think it was okay for Donald Trump to pardon 9 members of Congress? Do you think it was okay for Donald Trump to pardon folks that stumped on police? Did he ever answer that question?
Yes, he did. He said, none of that matters. That's the past. There you go.
Actually, Candy Cane, you're right. Yeah, you get mad over there, Candy Cane, over Jubilee. You get mad. I don't know about you, and I think that's what your meaning of watching it is. That's why I put down the description. You know, I put the link over to Jubilee. There's a lot of stuff over there, folks. I'm telling you. And maybe that's because of my temperament. Maybe I watched too much of that before I came over here. But it's not favorable for us over there. They feature the worst. And that's another thing I want to speak on. You notice how if you say something about, and I'm gonna be politically correct. If you say something about the pointed hat folks, everybody on you. But the word nigga can be thrown around like loosely, like a $2 whore and a loose nigga roundup. Y'all notice that? I was watching. I think I forgot who it was, and I hate to. This was Denzel. And he was on. Somebody asked him to close out the show. Y'all remember the famous shoe program? Loose. You know what I'm talking about? Shoe program, nigga. He didn't say the word. He was uncomfortable saying the word motherfucker live, but he was quite comfortable saying the word nigga. Maybe for some that's nothing, but for me, that's what it just shows that what people think that just to call you by that name is just how insignificant it is. Yeah, you're absolutely right, HT Baldwin. A lot of us are doing it. I do it, but y'all know why I do it. I explain exactly why I call you that. I don't call black men that. I have a distinct between the two. I would never call Robert Smalls a loose nigger. I would never call Martin Luther King Jr. a loose nigger. Although I don't agree with Andrew Young, I would never call Andrew Young a loose nigger. I would never call my man Dreadhead Said a loose nigger. No. But there are some niggas that I would call a loose. There's some niggas on the. I heard some today talking about the policemen can do anything they want. No, they can't. Drip.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, so I'm going to be as respectful about this as possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I pro-crime?
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go with California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's pro-crime. The legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says the voter-induced 3-strike law is no longer.
Okay, and this is another thing I noticed about these right-wing guys over here. They will cherry pick. They will go and find some of the most archaic, some of the things that really don't affect society as a whole, and use that in an argument. As you can see, they're getting fact-checked. Is he correct? Did they do that? But yes, but again, it's all right to agree sometime, and it's all right. I agree with him that once you're on the sex offender, become a sex offender, you should be on that registry forever. But that's what they do. They cherry pick. They go and find different things to try and throw at this guy, and he's just hitting the balls out the park on him, literally. Fact check after fact check. You think Trump would allow these folks to fact check him like that? Sure, said anything?
Oh, you know Trump wouldn't allow it. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. And you know the thing that I'm looking at, is that they sitting up here talking about crime, but
stab someone on 3 separate occasions.
They have
the judge now does not have to give them life.
34-time sex offender in the White House.
Go ahead.
They got a sex offender in the White House. So I mean, what is he talking about? I mean, wasn't Trump convicted of rape?
Every time somebody mentions that, and that and more. And more. What a lot of things that Trump and his cronies are doing right now, folks, eventually you will see. They better hope, and this is quite honestly, and I think this is why they're pulling so hard for a lot of things, that they better hope that the Democrats never take back over Congress. They better hope that.
Because you know what was told to me.
They better hope that.
Trump may have immunity, but they don't. So yeah,
they don't.
There's going to be a lot of trials.
That's right. There's going to be a lot
of investigations.
And just like you said, and this folks down the chat, he is a convicted felon in the White House, folks. There is no doubt about that. There's no way around that. Never in the history of the United. Yeah, we've had some crooked presidents, but we have never had a known convicted felon in the White House. Known. And I don't know how many folks see my community tab sometime, but that's why I don't do. That's why I don't do a lot of Trump news no more. Because you know what? The more you talk about Trump, I want y'all to think about this. Sit back in your chair for a minute. Cross your legs, ladies or guys. You know how we do. We lean back in the chair for a minute. Lean back for a minute. I want y'all to think about this. Trump has been in the news every day for damn near the last 10 years.
Every day.
Every day. Somebody do the quick math. 365 times 10 years. How many days is that?
That's a progressive law. That is not. That is pro crime. You support that, don't you?
I actually don't support sex offenders committed.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
So hold on.
It's like you and I agree on that.
I
The
agree on that.
legislature of California doesn't.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate
You're
Donald
progressive.
Trump being pro-crime.
But
And
you're
I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex trafficker.
He's dead. I'm talking about people alive right now.
It's interesting though you didn't use his name, right?
And that was his point. You see, that was his point. Did y'all hear that? That was his deflection. Ghislaine Maxwell, well, it wasn't really her. It was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. But, okay, just because Jeffrey Epstein, but at one point in time, were they not best friends? Were they not hanging out together? Were they not in a relationship? You don't think those two shared these young girls? You don't think that's why Trump has sent his lawyers over there to say, hey, I'm going to give you a pardon if you don't tell on me? You don't think that's what's going on? This is the whole of America. They're willing to overlook this. They're willing to overlook this. They're willing to block this from being a story, even so much so that now they talk about, let's go and put Obama in jail. He did something so drastically wrong that we got to go and put him in jail. I didn't plan on doing a lot of talking, but I see this skit is boring here. But I put the link down in the to this thing in its entirety, folks. Again, I'm not as they say, a perfectionist, but I am professional. I can't take a whole lot of Borgen. Gets under my damn skin. I might want to grab and choke something. See?
You're the one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you've heard the tape. He says I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex traffickers,
well, you just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
Friends. He's
no, I'm saying he was
something.
friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people supporting
Actually,
pedophilia
that's
are
not
the
true.
left.
Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you think he's
soft
pro-crime
on
for having a
sex
friend
offenders.
do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of.
Now, let me speak on that part right there. Right. Let me speak on this. Donald Trump, remember, he used to do the Miss Teen America. We actually literally have film of him, tape of him saying he used to go behind the scenes and these young girls will be either scantily clad or naked. He said that himself.
Yes, he did.
I didn't make that up. He said that himself. Now, I want y'all to think about the age of these girls in these young Miss Teenage USA pageant. 14, 15, 16. Is he Donald Trump not a pedophile? Everybody decent in there? I'm coming in.
But you know, the foolish part of his whole argument is if Trump was hanging around these people and this is what was going on, don't they make you part of the problem too? I mean, like if you in a car and say you in the back seat and there's two guys in the front and they pull up to a liquor store and they say, look, we finna rob this liquor store. They go in and rob the liquor store, come out and drive off, and you get caught with them. Don't that make you a part of the crime?
You're an accessory.
You're an accessory, right?
Before, during, and after the fact, which all carries some time. There's absolutely no way, folks, with the amount of pictures that we have seen of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein in places to where maybe at that time where he thought may have been just innocent pictures, but they're there.
Oh yeah,
you can't defend them.
And you know, when they asked Epstein, they'll think I was looking at something where they was asking him as a deposition, and they asked him about Donald Trump, and Epstein clearly pleaded the fifth. Like
I take the fifth, and what?
I take the fifth.
Okay.
So yeah, he knew a lot more than a
lot
than
more
what Trump wanted us to believe.
Right. Right. And why? Remember when they were what Trump was running on, one of his campaign promises was that there was so much shit in the Epstein files that when I get elected, I am going to release him. Elaine Maxwell, whatever the Pam Bondi, that's her name. I'm going to release him. They're sitting on my desk right now, waiting to be released. Well, where the fuck they at?
No, they thought that those Epstein files was going to expose a lot of Democrats. That's why they was.
No, sir, they did.
That's why they was on that. But there's a lot of Republicans. There's probably people names in that Epstein report that's serving in Congress right now because they was quick to shut it down.
Right. I bet if Matt Gates' name was in there, he would be. I bet he on that list. I bet a lot of them old turkey neck geezers that's up in Congress. I bet they with their boyfriends acting like they're married. I bet you they on that list. Might be some Democrats too.
Oh, I'm quite sure it is. It's probably a lot of celebs as well.
I'm sure it is too.
You know what I'm saying? But
what's the
fact
guy? Prince? Is it Prince Albert?
Yeah. No, Prince Edward.
Prince Edward.
He actually got banned from coming over here because of that at one time.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a lot of people on there.
Absolutely pure butterfly. If they expose Democrats, if they expose libertarians, if they expose independents, far as I'm concerned, folks, There's some people that are completely innocent of what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein. They were literally there for a party. Nothing wrong with that. But there are some people that was in Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's inner circle, Donald Trump's inner circle, that knew that he was trafficking those young girls. Now, let me ask everybody right quick. Like, I'm gonna give it about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna do a quick 30 seconds. But what do you know? Some of y'all might know the answer to this already. But what don't you find in the Bible? Anybody? Say it.
I'm trying to think.
Sure.
I don't know. Tell me.
Anybody in the chat room? You don't find white people. You don't find the word called. Show me where it says that. Anybody?
You know, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother show.
You don't find white people.
Nowhere. I think
Nowhere.
the closest that you can come to, I think the closest that you can come to white people is the Romans.
You can't. You're right. You can't even come close to it. White folks. That's what you cannot find in the Bible. White folks. And I dare you find the word Caucasian in there. So with that, and I tied this to say this, what these guys are trying to prove to us that they are more superior. You call yourself Christians, but you're not even mentioned in the Bible. How the fuck can you be superior? Anybody? Sean said she sent me something on the email about that, but we were just talking about race earlier. There, Pure Butterfly. You know, to me, race is one of those things that was invented by somebody. So I asked the question to Shar and I said, if we were to create the concept of race, do you think we would put ourselves at the bottom? So the concept was created by the palm-colored folks. So the mere fact that they created this concept of rape, do you think they would have put themselves at the bottom? I think not. There's all kinds of different particular studies on that, Bridget Amber, to what, you know, they say that the reason why folks, I'm not sure, but one of the how do I say this? One of the theories is that because of once they came over and they came into a different climate, and for those who could grow their long hair, of course, the long hair was to be able to cover up their neck. They grew more body hair because they lost their you know, because of the different climate. They were more susceptible to losing their heat, the less of body hair. Their nose became more, you know, it's a white folks' nose. So they wouldn't have to suck in as much cold air. Again, they grew longer hair, so it would cover the napes of their neck, so they wouldn't lose a whole lot of that. But that's
I
just
got a whole
theory.
different
Some
theory.
folks say. Go right ahead.
I got a whole different theory.
Go right ahead.
Well, if you ever notice something, white people are susceptible to skin cancer, bone loss.
Yes.
A couple other things, and that's not native of this planet. Like, I'm a firm believer that that the Bible is true to a certain degree of genetic engineering in the beginning, because there was people here before Adam and Eve was here. You got to think about that. And also say that one of the most populous people on this planet are black people. I stand on that. Black people are everywhere. Black people.
Absolutely.
And I believe that white people was engineered. And I think that, and this is my belief, like, y'all don't have to agree with me, but I believe that white people was engineered to, and I think this is why it's in them, is because they was engineered to rule over us. to make us slaves. So the slavery mentality, the I'm superior mentality, that's something that's in their genetics, and that's what they believe. And I really believe that, and I believe that they were engineered. They were the ones that was engineered, because if you really think about white people biology, they do not belong here.
Just by the nature of them, right? They're not people of the sun,
right?
They're absolutely not. And again, the concept of race, again, was created by a bunch of white men, and of course, they're going to make themselves not going to make themselves look bad by no stretch of the imagination. Even a lot of folks talk about the Caucasus Mountains, and the so-called pictures that we see of it, but that's actually not it. The Caucasus Mountain was completely different. It was kind of the pictures that we see of it. It's not the actual place that was barren. It was they were cave dwellers, but that's not the picture that they talk about of what we actually see. But again, it's a whole lot of debate. Some say these folks are genetically altered. Some folks say if they because of the land bridge and because of the climate, that those that did not lose that pigmentation eventually died off. I kind of disagree with that, because the Indians weren't white, and they were living in North America long before white man came here. So I kind of disagree with that wholeheartedly. But yeah.
But I mean, the one thing you can't disagree with, and I was talking to my granddaughter about this the other day, because she asked me why there's so much stuff going on. And like I told her, I said, all these are white people problems. Everything that's going on in the world today, they can, if people really cared about each other, we can make it so that everybody can make it. Everybody can live a good life. You know what I'm saying? But instead, they want this division. They want these problems. They want wars. You don't see these African countries, throwing missiles at other countries and stuff. This is all white people problems, and they make us fight their problems. They make us fight their wars. They make us live under their definition of problems. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's in the world that's wrong today is engineered and thought out by them. And that's what I believe. So, people can disagree with me, but I believe that if you take white people off this planet would probably be better off. And I'm not saying all white people are bad. Don't get me wrong. But, it's the ones that think like these people that's always going to get them a bad name.
And right. And there's by no stretch of the imagination. And the great rest his soul, the great Muhammad Ali posed a question. And so I'm just going to take the police out of it. I'm this guy, and I see 100 white men. Which one of them means me good? Which one of those 100 white men mean me good? What if the one I let in is there to fuck me up? So guess what I'm gonna do? I ain't letting none of them in. Y'all brought that on yourself. You brought that shit on yourself. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. You had decades. White folks, y'all had decades to make this shit right. I remember my generation coming up, and somebody said it on TikTok. Y'all told us y'all was going to be better than your grandparents. You're not. The generation my kids grew up in, y'all told us y'all were going to be better than your grandparents. You're not. The kids' generation that my grandchildren are going to grow up in says that your generation is not going to be any better, because what we see here in front of us, look at the age of some of those little knuckleheads there, especially the one behind Mehdi with the hat turned backwards. They steal everything. The only thing white folks created was the patent office. That's it.
Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
If it came, no, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again. So why are you defending Donald Trump?
If it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex
trafficker, you know what I'd do?
You'd stop being friends with them.
Yes, and I wouldn't say.
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, "Oh, look, Mr. Hasan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's pro-child sex trafficking." What if Mr. Hasan said, "I wish them well when they're on trial"? Wouldn't you ever go at me for that? You wish your friend well on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would you be mad?
Right, to translate what he just said. He just said 10 years ago, Donald Trump knew that his friend Jeffrey Epstein was a child trafficker. That was 10 years ago. He should not tell anyone else about that now. That was just 10 years ago. So I'm not going to mention that no more. Let me tell you something. That shit don't work for me. I'm going to tell everybody. See that guy that lives down the street from me? Don't let him around your kids. See that guy over there on that sex offendry register? Don't let him around your children. Because 30 years ago, he got convicted of this. Look. 40 years ago, he got convicted of this. Look. You don't get off the hook for that. And as many people like as I can possibly can to warn about you, I will. Say it. Sure.
No, I agree.
Continue.
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's
Donald
your
Trump
gotcha.
did.
That's right now is you're
What
trying to
about the
get back
fact
to
that he's-
Donald Trump
what
on
about
a
the fact
personal
that
level.
Elon
Let's
Musk
talk
says his
policy.
name is
What's his policy?
Oh, you want to talk policies?
Yes.
So when he left office in 2020, he left behind the highest murder rate for over 100 years.
He left behind the highest murder.
Yes.
That is the most bad faith claim you
No,
could
no,
possibly make.
it's a fact from the CDC
and you know
data.
what? Here's why it's bad faith.
Can I finish a sentence and then you can come back in?
You're just lying to people. Donald
I'm
Trump.
lying? Can I finish the sentence?
Donald Trump does not cause the
Can I-
murder rate.
can I-
Murder is a state
Oh,
level
that's
crime.
hilarious.
Gavin
Conservatives
Newsom is
spent-
more responsible for the murder rate than Donald Trump is.
That's hilarious. So Donald Trump's not responsible for murder rate, but other politicians who are Democrats
Yes,
are.
because it's
Everyone
a state
can see
level
your
law.
partisanship.
That's like saying no. I'll say Republicans are too. State governors who are soft on crime are the ones that are
Let
responsible
me finish
for
a
murder
sentence. When Donald Trump left office in 2020, between 2019 and 2020, according to data from the CDC, from the FBI, from Pew Research, there's a 30% increase in the murder rate between 2019 and 2020. It was the single biggest jump in the murder rate since 1905.
And who's doing
so he's pro-crime
who's doing the murdering?
and
Aren't they
pro-criminal.
responsible? Who's doing the murdering?
The murderers.
So aren't they responsible
But why
for the
did it
murder
go
rate?
up on his watch?
What?
Why did it go up on his watch?
No,
That's very bad.
no.
That's
He's
a
very
real
bad
hard
at fighting
no,
crime
That's a
for
real hard one to
Republicans.
figure out, right?
What he was about to say, when he hit the question, oh boy, right there, asked with his hand on his knuckle on his chin right now. When he was asking who was doing the murder rate, what he meant was who doing the murder rate, meaning is it blacks? Is it immigrants? Who's doing the murdering? That's what he meant. That's exactly what he meant. That's what he was trying to say. The murder rate is up because sooner or later, somebody, one of them, gonna pull up black on black crime. White folks don't kill other white folks. Asians don't kill other Asians. But we're the only ones that got the black on black crime. Hey, tit for tat, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so very much. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and push this play button. He about to get to
Shut down the whole economy during COVID. We told everyone they couldn't go out unless it was to violently protest. We told people that if a cop tries to arrest you, that cop's probably going to get charged with murder.
No, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. But the pandemic didn't finish in 2020.
What?
The pandemic didn't finish in
No, but
2020.
you
and yet
asked why the murder rate
and
went
yet
up.
if we're
The
going to
murder
play
rate
the
went
what
up
about game,
because of
you
all
guys
these
blame Joe
factors.
Biden for crime for years.
What Joe
For
Biden
years.
actively induces policies that are pro-crime. I'm asking
So
you
does
for a
Donald
single-
Trump. Okay.
Name the policy
I'll
that's
name one right
pro-crime.
now. I'll
Please,
name one
I've
right
asked
now.
you for like 10 minutes.
I'll name
Please
one right
do
now.
that.
No, you haven't. You talked
What,
about
some-
California legislature. He pardoned violent criminals
That's
who
not-
then went
that's
on
not a
to
policy.
commit
He
other
dec-
crimes. You don't think releasing violent crimes into
A
the
pardon is a
community?
one-time thing. What's his policy
Do you know-
he has pushed? Name a law he
Hold
has
on, no.
signed.
A pardon
What
is a
law has he
one-time
signed?
thing. Is a policy is one-time?
Like Jimmy Carter pardoned the
You
draft law.
guys
Listen,
may want to dodge January 6th, the pardons.
I'm not.
Deal with it. Did you agree with it?
Jimmy Carter
Do you
pardoned
agree
draft
with the pardons?
dodgers. Does that mean his
I don't,
policy was
I don't
no one
support
has to...
Jimmy Carter. Do you
Okay.
support the pardoning of people who went on to be prosecuted for sexually abusing a 7-year-old child, illegal gun possession, reckless homicide?
Now, see,
These are
there's
people who
more bad
released-
faith. See,
these
there's
are
more
people who
bad
released
faith.
from
He
prison.
didn't pardon someone for sexually abusing a
No, but
child.
they went on to be
pardoned
convicted
someone
of it.
for
So
rebelling
that's-
against the government that they believe
No,
had
they-
rigged elections. That's what he pardoned them for. He didn't pardon them for sexual child abuse.
But they were criminals who committed those crimes. He let them out, so that means the crime rate goes up.
So you say they're criminals because they did the crime, right?
Yeah.
Would you extend that to illegal immigrants, that they're all criminals because they committed a crime? I have a
No,
feeling your
the
position
Supreme
is going
Court.
to change.
Supreme Court. We're going to talk about immigration.
Someone who
I told you, sooner or later, it was going to pivot to one or the other. It didn't take him long, did it? That's why I let it play. It did not take him long to bring up illegal immigrants or to bring up immigrants. It did not take them long because that's their go-to line. That's what Trump is famous for. From the day he came sliding his white ass down that escalator, that's all he's been stoking. They are going to replace you. You got to fight like hell or you won't have a country. They're bringing in drugs. They're bringing in rapists. This has been ongoing for 10 years. And the statistics now, there's enough statistics now that Trump has been claiming about it enough. Some of these knuckleheads should have went out and said, you know what, Trump, you're wrong about that, because here is the evidence that says these immigrants do not create more crimes than the motherfuckers that live here.
who's illegally entered the United States, not a criminal, but
Not
somebody who
according to the
illegally
Supreme
entered the
Court.
Capitol
Not
is.
according to the Supreme Court of the United States.
The Supreme Court has said that anyone who enters the United States
The
illegally
Supreme
is not a
Court,
criminal.
and we can
What's the
jump
case
to
site? Can I get the
future
case
claims.
site? Can I get the
We
case
can
site?
jump to 20. You want to get the case?
The case site, please. For
You
you said the Supreme Court
The
said,
citation of the case.
Yes, that entering
It's
the United
called-
States illegally is not a crime.
It's called Arizona versus United States 2012. Go look it up.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
He got the fuck on.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, sir?
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Mehdi.
to meet you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
Thank you
I
for
really
coming.
just more want to get an understanding. When you say pro-criminal, what do you mean?
I mean that when confronted with people who've committed criminal acts, Donald Trump has been either soft on them, friendly with them, pardoned them, and of course, let's not forget, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left. I'm surprised it hasn't come up earlier. He's a convicted criminal himself sitting in the White House.
Okay, I want to make
34
sure I
felony
understand
offenses.
you correctly, because
Yes.
I don't want to strawman you.
No,
You're saying
I appreciate that.
every time that he's been confronted,
Not every time. I didn't
most
say the
times,
words every time.
most times,
A lot of them.
He is a convicted criminal himself. They're sitting in the White House. You cannot get past that, no matter how hard you try. A jury of Donald Trump's peers found him guilty of something. He is a convicted felon. I'll say this again. All of this could have been put to a stop when they had a chance to, when the Senate had a chance to impeach him. Donald Trump would have never been able to run for the presidency again. But the answer then was, what harm could he do? That didn't age well, did it?
You mean to the Republicans that were scared to impeach him? Because I believe that he could have did plenty of harm
Yes.
to them.
And maybe that's why they decided to say nope. Don't let that shit come out. Don't tell nobody about what that is. Oh Lord.
a lot of the times,
Yes.
he's leaned towards criminal activity.
I didn't say criminal activity. He has committed
Endorsed
crimes.
criminal.
He's been indicted for
Correct.
88 different criminal offenses in 4 different jurisdictions by 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 34 different criminal offenses by a jury of his peers. But let's park that for a moment.
Okay.
Separate to his own crimes, when
Right.
confronted with the crimes of others, or the alleged crimes of others, for example, a Chinese crypto billionaire
Right,
called
right.
Justin Sun, who was being investigated for market manipulation, Trump dropped the case, invited him to the golf course,
Right, I get
invited
it.
him
So
to the White House,
plenty of examples,
and the guy
plenty of
invested
examples.
$70 million in Trump's
Okay,
cryptocurrency.
so what I want to ask you
That's
this.
pro-crime in my
so
view.
is it possible, because remember, the burden of proof's on you, right? You have to prove. Is it possible that all these things that he's done that supposedly make him pro-crime,
Yeah.
is there's another reason for for the doing it. There's other justification. For example, let me give you an example, and then you can rebut it. The J6.
Yes.
Is it possible that he could have done this to unite the country, to move past, to go to a new chapter? If it's even possible, I think you would have to admit that there's another possibility. Therefore, he's not pro-crime. At least.
How I completely disagree too. How could pardoning 1,600 ruffians be good for the country? In what aspect? How could that unite the country? That we literally saw a bunch of policemen getting beat up, squeezed indoors. One lost his life. We, whether you agree or disagree with what happened to Ashley Babbitt, without Donald Trump saying, we're going to walk down to the Capitol, without Rudy Giuliani say trial by combat, Ashley Babbitt might still be alive. Without Donald Trump stoking the flames of saying it's going to be wild on January 6th, be there, Ashley Babbitt might still be alive. Bottom line. Exactly. Hey there, Denise. She says, I'm such a Mehdi Hasan fan. I like him too. He's quite intelligent. Quite intelligent. Let me try this again.
So I agree with you that the intent could be different. I don't think Donald Trump was sitting there saying, how can I increase the level of murders? Let me release some murderers.
Right.
I'm not saying he did that on January 6th. I don't think he was trying to unite the country. That's where we disagree. That's bullshit. In fact, he divided the country further. But intent doesn't really matter to my claim. If he's releasing violent criminals...
Wait.
It
Intent doesn't matter?
No, he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
No, but that's a big indictment to say pro-crime. That means he's for crime.
I'm confronted... Well, he is, because, for example, I gave an example.
No. It could be possible. Okay, sorry, forgive me.
Your friend earlier, your ally, said, where has he done stuff that's increased the crime? I'm telling you, people have been pardoned who have been convicted on multiple other crimes. These people who we pardoned had previous criminal records. They were not just some folks chilling around and go, we're against the takeover of our country, we're opposed to rebellion. A lot of these people were already hardened criminals, militia members. He looked at those people and said, you know what? They've been convicted, in many cases, by Republican judges, but I'm going to let them out. Yeah, that makes you pro-criminal.
Is it possible?
Very much so. And if Joe Biden had done it, you'd be attacking him.
Sure. Is it possible that their conviction was part of the plea? It's like, oh shit, I can't get out of this, so I got to take a plea.
And absolutely right.
Maybe.
A lot of them, maybe.
Others we saw with.
And that's another fair point there, Mr. Hasan, that if that would have been Joe Biden, because they'd give him a ration of shit for pardoning his son. Me personally, okay, it might be wrong, but I'm still going to do it. If I had a way to get my child out of a little trouble, I might do it. But was he right for doing it? No. Did I think it was going to backfire on him sooner or later? Yes. Well, thank you very much there, Denise. First time you're listening to me here. Thank you very much. But again, this guy here that's sitting in front of him now, I would like to ask you how, by releasing the January 6th insurrectionists, was better for the country. Did you folks come prepared to get your asses kicked? You could have called me. Mehdi didn't have to waste his time. Y'all could have called me. I could have wiped the floor with y'all. See it? Sure.
Yeah, I don't blame Joe Biden, because I'm quite sure that if it was me, and I got kids, if I was president and my daughter was in trouble, especially the type of trouble that he was in, because they literally drug Hunter Biden through the mud. Through the ocean,
through the mud. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't cut up. Lord have mercy.
Man, you know what? I think she was obsessed with him for other reasons. But
yeah,
but I mean,
right.
They
she saw that.
So I mean, go ahead.
She saw that picture of that. She saw that picture of that tallywhacker. That's what it was. That's what it was. She went crazy. Like, yeah, she went crazy. But go ahead, say it. I'm sorry. I'm speculating.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with HT. Yeah, Biden pardoned him because who wouldn't pardon their kid? Like, I'm president and I got a chance to get my kid out of prison or keep him from going to jail or keep her because I got girls. And I wouldn't do it. I mean, who wouldn't do it? You don't think that Trump will pardon his kids in a heartbeat if they got caught up?
Damn well they would. Damn well they would. No, damn well he would. So, again, you might not agree with it. You might say that it's wrong for the president to do that. But as the president, wouldn't you if that was your kid? Yes, you would. And anyone who says they wouldn't is a damn liar.
Unless they just didn't like their kids. I mean, and it's
right. Now that's a different story. That's a different story now.
That's a different story. But
right. So there's some folks some folks would say I wouldn't have pardoned him. But then I'll ask this question: so if your son got put in jail, would you bail him out? They said, yeah. Ain't that the same fucking thing?
Exactly. But it's not like he actually did nothing. I mean, the best that they can get him on was a gun charge. You know what I'm saying?
And some folks question that, but again, it didn't take all those. It didn't take all this congressional hearings and all that shit that went on about some Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah, that was their calling card.
Yeah,
they could be talking about anything, blah blah blah, but Hunter Biden's laptop, and that's basically what they was
the
running.
Biden crime family, right?
Yeah.
The Biden crime family. Do you even hear that anymore?
Oh no, they still say it. Matter of fact, not to get off the sidetrack, Hunter Biden actually did an interview. You should check it out. I'll find it and send you the link when I get a chance because he talked about all of that. Yeah.
Cool.
Our own lying eyes on tape, battering police officers.
So I want to
did you watch live on January 6th? What happened?
To be completely honest, I'm pretty novice on this. I'm more trying to target. You're saying he's pro-crime, and in my head, I'm just thinking this logically. Let me finish. If I can finish for 1 second. If thinking this, there's a possibility that he might have had other reasons. For example, unifying the country. Next chapter, right? That could be the reason. Therefore, it's not pro-crime. There was other reasons. I'm just saying that's a possibility. And if that's,
I'm saying it's a possibility, but I'm saying it's irrelevant because if you're knowingly releasing violent criminals out into the community, pardoning, not just releasing, then yes, you are being pro-criminal. And I've interviewed police officers.
I don't know about that case.
I've interviewed police officers who have been assaulted, beaten, had to retire from the police office, broken bones.
Can I move
finish?
really
Let me say
quick?
this out.
Yeah,
I'll finish very quickly. I've interviewed these police officers. They've been beaten by people who they've then seen walk off the streets and then carry on threatening them. Yes, when Donald Trump is responsible for that, you're definitely pro-crime.
Okay, I doubt a lot of the sources, but
you doubt police officers who testified to being assaulted.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thanks. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Nice to meet you, Mehdi.
So you claim that your main claim is that Trump pardoned some people from January 6th. By the way, I was there. I saw it all firsthand. About a football field away. There's smoke in my eyes. Bloodied. It was a crazy day.
Were you convicted of any crimes?
No, of course not, because I didn't enter the building. Stayed very peaceful. But your entire claim is that he pardoned.
That's not my entire claim.
That's basically you keep bringing it up. All you do is bring it up.
Okay, I'll mention some other people.
Let me say this.
Are you okay with his pardoning of Paul Wolchak, who stole money from his employees?
You keep talking about
9
partying.
former members of Congress. That's
keep
my
talking
claim.
about partying.
He keeps pardoning criminals. That makes him.
You know who else pardoned a big criminal?
Go on.
Hunter Biden was pardoned by his father.
I don't think
he did crack cocaine.
He should have done.
And he had hookers there too.
I'm with you all.
But then why don't you claim that Biden? Why don't you claim that Biden?
I think Joe Biden in that instance was pro-crime. He shouldn't have done it.
Well,
he
so
shouldn't
he
have
was
done it.
overall pro-crime just because he did that.
No, but Joe Biden didn't just. So if it was just a pardon, then you'd be fine. But I already mentioned there's also the fact that Joe Biden wasn't actually a convicted criminal in office. Trump has committed crimes. Trump hangs around with criminals. He spent much of the 80s hanging around with the New York mob. He hung around with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, that's.
I can keep going.
As you can see right there in the right-hand corner, all facts. Everything, absolutely. You can find pictures of Trump hanging out with mobsters, drug dealers, under disguise sometimes that he was hanging out with rappers and shit. Go look for yourself. It's all documented. So my thing is, the way these folks up here, these right wingers, call themselves such intellects, did any of them bother to do any homework first? Because all their arguments are falling flat. Just in this first instance alone here of the first claim that Mehdi Hasan makes, that Donald Trump is pro-criminal, they have not showed one shred of evidence that he is not. A lot of smoke screen, a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of January 6th, a lot of look what he did over there. We're talking about Hunter Biden. We're talking about the fucking president of the United States right now. There's 34 convicted felons that we heard literally on the Access Hollywood tape say, grab him by the pussies. That we literally heard a porn star by the name of Stormy Daniels say that he creeped her out, but she had sex with him anyway. We literally heard all of that. But they called themselves Christians. They call themselves Christians. The evangelicals, where were they at? They got pissed at Obama for wearing a tan suit.
Jeffrey Epstein lived in West Palm Beach, the area, and that's the closest golf course he could go to.
Do you think,
and he's very,
do you think
very
Donald
rich,
Trump is in the Epstein
so
files?
he paid.
Do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein
As soon
files?
as Trump found out,
do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein files?
No, I do not. Here,
What, is Elon Musk lying?
Let me explain. Let me explain this.
Okay.
He lived in the area in Mar-a-Lago, near Mar-a-Lago, so he bought obviously a ticket to go in there.
Yep.
As soon as Trump found out that Epstein had done all those bad things, immediate ban
That's
from
not true,
Mar-a-Lago.
but okay.
Immediate ban
That's
from
not
Mar-a-Lago.
true.
Yes, it is.
That's not
yes,
true.
it is. 100%.
In fact, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited some of the girls that were abused from Mar-a-Lago.
So listen to this.
From Mar-a-Lago. That's pretty outrageous, right?
Elon Musk tweeted that out in a fit of rage. Okay. Do you really?
Sometimes people tell the truth
think,
when they're angry.
Do you really?
The truth comes out when people are angry sometimes.
So
we might see that today.
Kash Patel literally said that Elon Musk had no access to the Epstein files. So
Kash Patel said that Epstein killed himself. Do you agree with that?
Whatever he says goes. Then yeah, I don't care.
You do?
He knows more information than I do.
A lot of MAGA people are upset.
He knows
with
more
Kash Patel
information
for
than I
saying
do.
that.
But here's the.
But now here's the thing: is whether it be innocence or whether it be damn right ignorance, they say for themselves. Which one is it, young man? Is it the Epstein's files don't exist, or do they exist? One or the other. You can't have it both ways. You can't say 1 minute that the files were made up by Democrats, like your fearless orange leader said, and then I hear you say that Kash Patel said, and this folks said that the Epstein files was such and such. It can't be both ways. Either the Democrats made it up or they didn't. Either it's true or it's not.
And then one question I got is, why would he think that Elon Musk wouldn't have access to those files? Didn't those go into the FBI office and fire like half of the FBI and downloaded a bunch of
very
information?
much. And Donald Trump gave him carte blanche to do that. So what would make us think that he would not have access to those files as well?
I think those are probably the first files that he went for.
The first files he went at, he went looking for leverage first.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, he just tweeted that in a fit of rage. What rage?
Boy, he made like how much money did Musk spend on Trump's election?
Okay. Shit. Uncountable. That we know of.
It was a few $100 million. I think it was like 200 million or something like that.
Right, a lot.
So yeah,
a lot.
If you spend that kind of money, wouldn't you want some type of return on your investment in some shape, form, or fashion?
I know damn well I would. No, I tell you what, before we get out of here, we're about 1 hour and 33 minutes in. Like I said, folks, this is going to be one of those streams that's going to be, we're going to cover it for a while here because I really want to get into the heart of this. So we're going to do this for about another 33, 34 minutes. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link. Anybody want to come up and rehash some of the things that we talked about already, or give their perspective on what they've seen so far? By all means, There go the link right there. You're more than welcome to come on up. And when I do ask if you do decide to come up, please be respectful of the other folks that is here. We all can disagree. It's not a problem. But when it starts to get ugly, I'm going to do you like this. Drop you. No argument. No warning. Mid-sentence. You're gone.
The actual claim.
Suddenly people are trying to vote you out because you said you agree with Kash Patel on Epstein.
He knows more information
All right,
than I do.
Pause. That's time. Please return to your seat.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, take care.
Surrounded is now a podcast, available wherever you listen. Search Surrounded.
Of a doubt
Oh, well, I use a pseudonym online.
This is the guy that
enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite.
This is the guy, right?
Look at
This
that
is the guy
chin.
right here, folks. This is the guy that I want to get to.
Look at that chin. Watch out. Watch out.
You know, he looked like the guy that when you was in
This
school,
guy
he was
here.
taking everybody's lunch money and stuff. You know? That's what he looked like.
This, he looked like the bully on Leaving the Beaver or some shit, don't he? But look, this guy is everywhere in America, folks. He's the mechanic. He's the delivery Amazon guy. He's the guy that works in the Walmart. He's the guy that's at the movie theater. This is the guy right here. That's him. That's him right there. That is the whole of America right there. And why I say that? Because listen to what he says. Listen to how he starts off.
Frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What's the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
No, but who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings.
Isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that state.
And then no more votes afterwards.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt makes
supporters.
this point very well in
Did y'all catch that? He says,
Of course.
I'm not going to be a part of the group that they kill.
Yeah, tell that to them farmers.
Said another one of the quiet parts out loud.
Tell that to them farmers that
Right.
thought it was okay to deport
Right.
all their workforce, and now they don't have nobody to work the field.
Okay. Okay.
It ain't gonna happen to me. Okay.
This time of year where I live in South Carolina, it's the peach harvest season. They can't find nobody to work. Peaches is falling off the bush. They're selling them at record lows because they don't have nobody to pick them. Because they're scared to bring out the workers, the folks that was doing this for low wages anyway. Now they're scared to bring them up because ICE or immigration might show up at any time while they in the field. But remember, Trump told them we were just going to get rid of the criminals. What criminal y'all know is working in a peach factory? What criminal y'all know is slaughtering chickens at 2 o'clock in the morning? Anybody? Y'all saw what Scarface did, didn't you? When he got his first big break, what did he do? He quit. He ain't fried near another burger.
Sure didn't.
his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I don't. I frankly don't care being called a Nazi.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution
We
and stuff
may
like
have
that,
to
which is
rename
bad.
this show
but-
because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to the laughter in the room. Again, it's the subtleties, folks. If you've been around this long enough, you understand exactly what I mean now. This is the whole of America. Because you heard a majority of those folks, white folks in that room, clap for him. This is the whole of America, whether y'all want to accept it or not. I'll use this disclaimer one more time. I'm not talking about all white people. But there's enough of y'all that y'all know damn well who I'm talking to and talking about. I'm sitting around at least 17, 18 of them right now because there's a few in there of some different ethnicities. But for the most part, there's at least 16, 17 white kids in this, white adults, white youngsters that I'm talking to. And if you get mad, scratch your ass and get glad because I'm talking to you.
You know what's bothering me about what he was saying? Like he said, and this is the thing about Christians, that he asked him about the Jews, and he said that he don't think that nothing happened to the Jews. So I don't think he believed in the persecution of the Jews. But the Jews was persecuted in the Old Testament. Wasn't that what Moses was doing when they was walking around for 40 days and 40 nights before they settled? Wasn't it Jewish people that he was leading?
That's right.
And you know, if I think from what I really understand, I believe that the Catholic Church, because my grandmother was Catholic, and they really delve into the Old Testament a whole lot. So I'm not even understanding what part of Christianity he is. But you know, I'm with you. I don't believe that these people are real Christians, because if they real Christians and they believe in the word of Jesus, and Jesus helped the sick, helped the poor, fed the hungry, you know, and they doing the total opposite, how could they call themselves true Christians?
And he did it all by being broke. He didn't accumulate any wealth. He didn't sit up and say, he didn't say, bring all your money to me.
That's right. And he got sold out for 30 pieces of silver too. So, you know, that's a whole nother story, but.
Okay, there it is. Hey, Pure Butterfly, how you doing? How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Music. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. What's your take on what you've heard so far?
So, I what I'm hearing so far is a whole bunch of wannabe intellectuals that don't know shit. And when you happen to be MAGA K ultra'd by Trump, you would say the things that you say, like they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a mind of your own.
I would absolutely agree. A lot of these folks do not think for themselves. They sit in an echo chamber, and you can tell them because you can hear a lot of them say, right, Char, the magosphere. It's not the manosphere, the magosphere. Took the words right out of my mouth. And that's just what I was about to say. It's not the manosphere over there in Trump world. It's the magosphere. It's magosphere. Exactly what it is. Because all Trump has to do is say it at 6 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, what's the name of that?
Then they're parroting everything he says.
Absolutely.
But you know why?
Fox News.
But you know why? You know why these people doing that though? Because despite the criminality which is unheard of, Trump has also gave his finger to everything, including judges, the Supreme Court, you know, the laws, the Constitution, and these people love this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You do realize the only reason why he's got a lot of the Supreme Court on his side is because he has some dirt on them. So when we're talking about Epstein files and things like that, I would venture to say anybody that is on the Supreme Court that are allowing him to trample all over the Constitution, it's because he's got dirt on them.
I believe he has dirt on everybody, not just the Supreme Court.
So let's expose them all.
But I also think that the Supreme Court, they kind of have to kind of go along with this nonsense now, because I said when I'm not saying when the Democrats take back over office, you know they're going to start impeaching them judges too, because Alito, Samuels, and Thomas, you know, they all co-signed for all of this. Thomas White was involved in the January 6th crap that was going on. So yeah, Thomas is definitely out of there. Once Congress shift hands and the Democrats can get the majority that they need, yeah, they're gonna start impeaching everybody.
Yeah. And Clarence Thomas gonna get his Negro wake up call quick. So that's to me, you're absolutely right. That's the worst thing that could happen to this brand of Republican, because I've never been what they say, a fan of the Republicans. If you go back, my mother was into politics, so I remember her speaking of some of the different Republicans and all that. They've never been. The Republicans just replaced they're just a new Dixiecrat. They've never been about making folks better. They never have.
No. And they've proved that even going all the way back to what's his name? Oh my God, I can't think of the one that used to be an actor, the old guy. I can't think of him.
You talking about
the president, Reagan. All the way back to Reagan. Like they've been doing the same playbook all the way back to Reagan's day. It's the same exact playbook. They feed the fear and they run off the fear, and that's how they get into office. They create a narrative, they run the narrative, and they run it on fear tactics, and that's how they get in. They don't do it like how Obama did when he was talking about, making change and making things different and better and You don't hear none of that. You've never heard Trump say anything about what he was going to do for the American people and make it better. All he did was run off of fear slogans and stuff. He's not ever said he was going to make anything better economically for America. Matter of fact, now they're going after cruise ships, right? So ISIS went on cruise ships while cruise ships are sitting in the ocean or sitting on water, not even taking a step on American soil, and deporting Filipino cruise ship workers. And why would they do that? I'm going to tell you why. They're doing it so that they can destroy different industries and cripple these industries so that they can force them out of business. This is the tactic that these white supremacists that are following Trump are using. They're putting businesses out of business. Right now, I live in Las Vegas. We're a tourist industry business in Vegas. They're laying off left and right. And why are they laying off people left and right? Because people are scared to travel from other countries to America right now. It's all purposefully done. It's a control mechanism. Once they destroy all of the commerce in America, which is what he's doing with the tariffs and everything he's doing, that's how they're going to take control. That's what they're doing to take control, is to cripple everybody financially to take control. I hope everybody understands what's happening.
Oh, no, I understand completely.
It's not really about ICE.
I understand completely.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
And what none of these idiots understand that's in that video is that he's not going to just stop with the black and brown people.
No.
There are people who are millionaires, like barely millionaires, that's finna lose all their money. There are people that are, like $10-20 million that's finna lose their money. They finna take all the wealth and give it to the top.
Well, look at Elon. Elon's being crippled right now. They're asking Elon to sell Tesla because they don't want Elon to be in control of Tesla anymore. He went along with, and I'm not feeling sorry for Elon at all, but he was just a pawn in the play, just like Giuliani from New York was, and just like everybody that ever served him prior to this. They all got in the crossfires of Trump, and they've all suffered behind Trump. I don't know where people think that they can get into arm's length with Trump and think that they're not going to be unscathed. If Trump can turn on his bestie Epstein and get him murdered, guess what? Everybody's on a chopping block that supports him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
you are so right.
Here's another thing I would like to ask the would-be lawyers again on my last community tab. I posted this. So one of the questions I posted: which one of you lawyers is going to lose your entire career over Trump next?
They're quitting now. They're quitting.
One of y'all gonna step up, but it's too late. Once you become infected by that Trump bug, you're done. You're done.
He got so many. He got so many bodies.
She has not won a case yet.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, they did not confirm her for that seat. They did not confirm her for that
So
seat.
what did they do?
So
Go find. Okay.
Trump didn't even put her up for a vote with the Senate.
They're going to make it really difficult for people to vote them out. For one, they're changing the demographic of how the voting system in different states are working, or the different places that people can vote. And is it going to be where we have to actually wear T-shirts of who we're voting for so that we can have pictures taken so that they don't corrupt the vote and say, hey, we still won the votes and stuff? Are we going to have to put everybody that we're voting for on a T-shirt and be like, this is who we're voting for, so that they can't lie?
Might have to. You just might have to. Drastic measures.
And go in there to the polling booths one by one and videotape everybody with their T-shirts and how they're voting once they go into the polling booths.
And then they'll make that illegal.
Oh yeah, they're gonna definitely do that. But they're gonna try to find a way. But I think that
they'll make that
the hard
illegal.
part for them is gonna be is that they pissed off too many people. And when they started doing the stuff that they was doing, like with the food stamps, because the majority of people that get that is white people. So now that they cutting their bag, then people and then you got to think these people live in rural areas too, and they 2-3 hours away from a Walmart. So they really screwed.
Well, I mean, they're screwed now because the FEMA's gone, and we got natural catastrophes happening left and right. It happened in New York. It happened in Texas. It happened in New Mexico. It's going to keep on happening, and there's nobody going to be there except for us taking care of us as people and taking care of each other.
All you're gonna have.
Because Trump ain't got no money allocated for nobody, because they've already done pickpocketed America.
And what money was allocated, he done moved it over to something else. You're absolutely right. It's a good way to describe it, Pure Butterfly. He done pickpocket America, and y'all let him do it. And Craig let him do it.
Mm-hmm. And Craig lost his job, so I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, Connor did. So I don't know what he's going to do now. Because after he admitted that he was the fastest, who's going to hire him?
Who gonna hire him? So let's hear what else Connor had to say here. Hold on. What else you got to say, Connor? Did I miss it?
I'll mute.
Absolutely. I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats. They didn't care.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic.
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, he only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent people.
The White Terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you?
Well, there again, folks. If you don't believe it, you saw the quick fact check pop across the screen, so you can go back and look at it and see that you've been fact checked again. Mehdi Hasan is just ripping you folks apart. But hear it again. I'm going to say this. We do not manufacture our heroes. White America, y'all do. Superman came from out of town, from far, strange visitor from another planet, came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Batman. Y'all even fucking created some damn Ninja Turtles. Your heroes have to be created. You, as the whole of America, y'all celebrate criminals. Want to give me a name, a few of them? Capone. How many times you heard Trump say about him? How many movies has Jeffrey Dahmer made about him?
Don't forget his imaginary friend, Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
Talked about him a lot.
Hannibal. Right. Hannibal Lecter.
I wanted to point something out, and I've been watching a lot of the clips of him and Epstein, right? And did you see the one clip where he's wearing the light pink tie? And I know a lot of people aren't familiar, but pedophiles have a color code, and it's light pink and light blue
A
when
dress
they're
code.
attracted to yes, it's a
Yeah,
dress code to little kids, little girls and boys, and depending on what they are wearing is what they're attracted to. Trump was wearing a light pink tie. Do you think he was wearing a light pink tie just out of the blue because when he was with Epstein?
Listen, I'm like you, Pure Butterfly. Me, I'm kind of observant, and so I look at things in its totality. So there was a clip of Trump and Epstein at a party, and I don't know who they were looking at, but Trump was very interested in her. And then the camera pans over, and there was only a bunch of little girls over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember what he said about his daughter, who was what, 11 or 12 at the time?
Yeah.
His own daughter.
His own daughter. Not only that, he said he dated his grown daughter, but he also had made a mention of his own daughter talking about her legs. She hadn't caught up with her mama yet. How you talk about your daughter like that?
Oh, he talked about her breasts and her legs.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, y'all noticed that she hasn't been nowhere near Donald Trump since he got back in office.
Okay, let's stay the fuck away from that. Shit, we almost lost
Can
everything.
I say something? I see in her what I look, because I was raped and molested. I was raped at 3 years old and I was molested by an uncle at 11. And I know the look of somebody who has been predated on by a predator like that, and how she looks when she doesn't want anything to do with Trump. I mean, we already know about Melania, right? Melania.
Mm-hmm.
We know that she doesn't want anything to do with him.
She is the Trump. Right.
Go ahead.
Right. We already know that, and you don't really want folks to start talking about her because she ain't got the greatest of past, is she? Matter of fact, according to Trump's own standards right now, she gonna have to get her ass deported.
I mean, but that's the double standards of the Trumpites. They're all okay with the double standards.
Absolutely. And I can't answer that HT Ball one. I don't know what self-respecting father would look at a grown woman and compare his small child to a grown woman. I don't know what father would do that. But Donald Trump, for years, these were the things that he would be saying.
Well, just understand that incest is a very big thing among a lot of white people. You are quote unquote, because I don't believe in the racial demographic. But if we're going racial, which there is no real such thing as a white person. However, if you're claiming to be white, okay, so be it. However, there is a big, big phenomenon with the people who claim to be white and incest.
Mm-hmm. Listen, again, of course, sometime when you're doing research, folks, you got to dwell down into the realm that get to the bottom of things. Go look for yourself. After, dare I use this, after interracial porn, the most sought out other porn is stepdaddy porn. Sure is.
What does that mean?
That's what they're looking at.
Stepdaddy? Both of them together?
No, that's what they're looking at.
No, I think what music is trying to say is that there's a lot of porn that's titled stepdad, father, daughter. You know what I'm saying? Mother, son. I done seen that stuff.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
It's all white people doing it. Like,
I mean, incest happens with other races of people, but it's very prevalent. It's very prevalent.
It's common. Yes. 55%. This is no lie, folks. You can go look this up for yourself. 55% of the sexual crimes that's committed in the United States were committed by white men. I didn't make that up.
So when you're wondering why these Trump supporters can go and create and elect a man who would do that and say that about his own daughter and all those things, is because there are a lot of them. I'm not going to say all of them, There are a lot of them that think like he does.
Some of them might be used to it. Some of them might be used to it, huh? Pure butterfly.
Yeah, it's like they're at home with that. It's like being at home for them. That kind of energy to them is normal.
Absolutely, I agree wholeheartedly. Well, folks, we're about to close on up here because I try and keep these to about 2 hours. Again, I'm going to come back with part 2. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow. I know it's not going to be Sunday because I'm quite busy on Sundays with my radio station. Again, let me shout out to, I got 2 of my great DJs here now, one on the panel with me and one down the listening lounge. So make sure you check out Dreadhead Said and HT Ball One on Thursday evenings. Starting at what time you start, Said?
Start at 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, to 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time.
And you do another show on Mondays at the same time, right?
7 to 10 Central Time, 8 to 11 Eastern Time.
Right. And also right after Dreadhead Said on Thursday, make sure y'all check out my man HT Ball One. He goes on from 11 p.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all make sure y'all check out classic R&B jams. Don't slip on it, especially if you're a house music
all night long.
Right. If you're a house music fan, that's the place to be. Thursday nights, there, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm gonna go around the table and I'll give y'all the last word of the night there. So I'll start with you, Pure Butterfly Spirit. Thank you very much for coming on up. Any last final words for us? Me. My pleasure.
Yep, that's it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Ready? How about you there, Shar?
Looking forward to part 2.
All right, part 2 it is. She said earlier that wine will get into her. I saw you over there in the corner. All right, wrap it up. And what about you, my man? Said how you living on this? Any final thoughts?
I'm just hoping that all this come out so that it can bury Trump for once and for all. He needs to go.
He
needs to go.
Listen.
I just wanted to say, I feel that if the courts would have did what they should have done before he even got in office, none of us would be feeling any of this kind of pain.
Absolutely. Because
I'll say this before you go. Let me say
sure.
It wasn't just the courts. I got a long list, and I'm talking about Democrats. Everything.
It's a laundry list.
A long list.
Right.
But one of the things that I stand on, when Joe Biden first got in office, he was told, they said, "Look, Joe, you're gonna have to increase the Supreme Court because that's exactly who they're gonna be running to change everything that you're trying to do." And Joe was like, "Oh, I ain't finna do all that." He should have done it. He should have done it. If he would have increased the Supreme Court, Trump would not have none of this stuff going on right now.
I agree wholeheartedly. That's absolutely, that would have been a fail-safe. If all else failed, because I want y'all to think about this. A lot of the court cases Trump is taking to the Supreme Court, he is losing even with the judges that he appointed.
Right, but that's underneath the Supreme Court, because what he do is he appeal to the Supreme Court and they do it anyway. Yes. They rarely rule against him.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why I'm saying he has something on a lot of them.
Yeah, he do. But I also think that they know the right. They know, like I said before, they know once the Democrats get in office, the writing is on the wall. They're gonna start impeaching those judges. Alito and Thomas is definitely gone. Definitely gone.
I'll agree with that wholeheartedly. With that, folks, let me give you my final thought again. If what I said tonight, hit dogs holler. You don't like what I said? Too bad. Truth is truth. Truth don't need no alibi. There's a certain sector of Americans out there. Again, this is for the third time I'm going to use this disclaimer. I'm not talking about all white America, but there's enough of you folks. As much as y'all want to criticize the folks from the Holocaust, as much as y'all want to criticize other countries and their inhumane treatment of other of their people, what's the word that they use? Their inhumane treatment of their own citizens. You better take a look at what's going on here. Look at the hell that Trump is trying to put folks in. He's trying to, as Pure Butterfly said, trying to bankrupt the economy. Look at what he did to the stock market. How many you think the people that lost money during the stock market that crashed, do you think that they got their money back?
Nope.
Look at how many people that's losing jobs. Look at the price of eggs. Look at the price of produce. Look at all the people that he said that he was going to send back to Mexico. This cat is literally up in fields having masked men walk around, jumping out the bushes on you.
Mm-hmm.
And that don't remind y'all of 1939 to 1945. That don't remind y'all of that. You don't learn about history.
He only was going to deport the criminals. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Then he would have to self-deport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
Good luck with that one. But I do have a feeling that if he get impeached, he's probably going to flee the country, because even though he got immunity on a lot of things, he don't have immunity on that on the child rape stuff. So if they get him on that.
Yeah, so ain't no immunity on that. But anyway, there, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get on up out of here. Prepare yourself for part 2. And it might be tomorrow, or if at the latest, I'm gonna do it Monday. So y'all tune back in. Well, no, not Monday, because my man is on. We got to get over and support him. So if I don't do it Monday afternoon, it'll definitely be said you say you're done at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we might hold a late live stream on Monday. All right. So however we're going to do, folks, we're going to break this down, and I'm going to show you the whole of America, whether you like it or not. This is you. This is you, America. This is who you are. You're going to have to come to grips with this part of you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we is up out here. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see y'all soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Look, all you motherfuckers been snitching for him and shit. Now you standing up in here and goddamn it talking about preaching preacher. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna shoot your ass too, motherfucker. Keep on. You gonna get shot too, nigga. You gonna get shot. God bless the fool, goddammit. God bless the fool. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna end this goddamn thing. Look, where's that goddamn money bowl at? Who got that money bowl? We're taking that money right now before you leave this bitch. We ain't leaving out here for free, motherfucker. Yeah. Y'all know the motherfucker ain't no good. You want, look,